Okay, guys, good morning. You guys, we're going to continue to work on these pictographs today. I've got a couple more examples. And remember, the first couple things you want to look at the whole graph. And this one, the title would be Shirts Owned by 5 Students. And then in this graph, each shirt is going to represent 3 shirts. That's like the key. So you want to remember, you want to see, especially in a pictograph, what the symbol represents. In this case, the shirt actually represents 3 shirts. So first question, who owns the most shirts and how many? Okay, so we're going to look, just looking at this, you can see that it looks like Isabel and Mason both have the same amount of shirts, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and remember, each shirt represents 3. So both Isabella and Mason own 24 shirts. It would just be 8 times 3. Okay. So you write Isabella and Mason, and they each own 24 shirts. Okay. Who owns the fewest shirts and how many? It looks like Emma only has 3, which is going to be the total of 9. So because each shirt represents 3, so it looks like Emma only has 9 shirts. Okay. Which 2 students together own exactly the same number of shirts as Mason? So Mason has 24. We've already figured that out. So you're going to find 2 students together who have 8 shirts. So Emma has 3, so someone has 5, and that would be Sophia, because what you're trying to do is get 2 students together who have 24 shirts. So Emma has 3 and Sophie has 5. So together those 2 have 24 shirts. So for number 3, it would be Sophie and Emma. Because remember we did Mason, he's got 24. So you're trying to figure out 2 other students who have together have 24 shirts. And number 4 says, how many shirts would Mason have to give Jacob so they each have the same number of shirts? So we have to look up at Mason and Jacob. So Mason has 24 and Jacob has 18. So if Mason gave 3 of his shirts to Jacob, they each have 21. So you're subtracting 24 minus 3 is going to get 21. And then Jacob's already got 18. So if you add 3 more to him, they both have 21. Because right now, Mason has 24 and Jacob has 18. So he's got 6 more. But remember, you can't give him 6 because then Jacob would have 24 and Mason would have 18. So he wants to give him 3. Subtract 3 from Mason, add 3 to Jacob. They're both going to have 21. If Sophie, Isabel, and Emma all put their shirts together and shared them equally, how many would they each have? So Sophie, 5. Isabella has 8, so that's 13. And Emma has 3, so that's 16 times 3 is 48. So 48 divided by 3 would be 16. Okay. So that's really, this is just another example. Sometimes you're going to have to do some addition, sometimes some subtraction, sometimes some division. But, you know, the important thing, like I said, is to realize what each symbol means. Let's do another one. Let's look at one more here. Okay. Now this one, this is number of trains that pass through 5 towns each day. And in this pictograph, each symbol, the train equals 1 train. This one's just straightforward. Sometimes you'll get that where the symbol equals exactly what it represents. Like in the last one, the shirt represented 3. I think the first day we did the bus represented 2 buses. In this case, This one train equals one train. Okay, so first question, which town has the most trains pass through each day and how many? Well, if we're looking at this, you can see that Big Town has the most number of trains. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me double check that. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Big Ten has the most trains pass through in a day, and it's got 12 of them. Okay. And that one you can just look, you see that this one has the most trains. Which trains has the fewest trains pass through it each day? Okay. This one's going to be a tie. You see Littleton and Smallton each only have 3 trains pass through each day. So number 2 is going to be Littleton and Smallton each have 3 trains pass through each day. Which town has 10 trains pass through each day? So you're going to have to look and see. It looks like it's this one right here, Largeston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Largeston has 10 trains pass through it each day. How many more trains pass through Carleton than Littleton each day? So this is going to be a straight subtraction. So Carleton has 5. Littleton has 3. So 5 minus 3. Carleton has 2 more trains pass through it each day than Littleton. And the last one, Johnston's 11 trains pass through each day. How does that compare with the towns in the picture graph? Okay. Well, you're going to compare Largeston to the other 4 towns. So you're probably going to say Largeston has 11 trains. So it has more trains than Carleton, Smalltown, and Littletown, but it has less trains than Bigton. And that one, it's just asks you to compare the one city, which is Johnston, excuse me. So Johnston is okay, so I want to look at this again. Johnston isn't on this graph, okay? So just using another town that's not on the graph, but it says it has 11 trains. Okay, so everything's still the same. So Johnston has more trains pass through it than Carleton, 11 to 5. Has more trains than Largeston, 11 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Has more trains than Smallton. Remember, it has 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bigton has 1 more train pass through it. So you would say Johnston has 1 less train than Bigton. Then you go up to the top with Littleton and you're going to say, well, it has 11 trains more than 3 of Littleton. So you can do this, a couple of ways. This one's kind of an open-ended question. So you could just say it has more or less, okay? Or you could do the specific number. It doesn't say specifically how you want to do it. That leaves it open to you. So you could do the 11 minus, if you're doing Carleton, 11 minus 5, you could say it has 6 more trains than Carleton, 1 more train than Largeston, 8 more trains, 1 less, 8 more. You can certainly subtract all of them, or you can just say more or less, and they're both right. This one really lets you guys decide how you want to do it, but really it's just a comparison. Okay, and I think if we look down at the answers here, this one just says fewer than Bigton, but more than 4 other towns. And that one just basically, it wrote it in a sentence. You can certainly do the numbers. You can do it any way you want. Okay, that is going to be it for math. I will post another couple examples of pictographs, and I'm going to start science at 10:30, and we'll do social studies at 11 o'clock today. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.